What America fears most is not Iran's missiles. It is Iran's unbreakable strategic patience. Most people miss the core truth. The talks never failed for diplomacy. They failed on purpose. The world is being led into a trap. No one sees the hidden fatal flaws. Today, I break down the truth from 4 core dimensions. I expose the hidden cards no power dares to reveal. Layer 1, the fake collapse of the Islamabad talks. Layer 2, the brutal asymmetric cost war. Layer 3, the fatal flaw of U.S. military deployment. Layer 4, great power chess and the final winner. Every point is backed by top think tanks. No empty words, no guesses. Do you want to see the real Middle East? Layer 1, the fake collapse of the Islamabad talks. Reuters confirms the 21-hour closed-door meeting. It ended with 0 deals, 0 statements, 0 next rounds. The U.S. set 4 impossible red lines: 0 uranium enrichment, full removal of 900 pounds of uranium stockpile, full control of the Strait of Hormuz, unconditional disarmament of proxy forces. Iran rejected all demands. Why these demands kill Iran's sovereignty? No nation will accept this. The FDD think tank releases a key finding. The U.S. never wanted a deal. It wanted an excuse for escalation. This is not diplomatic failure. This is a pre-planned performance. Let me give you the hard numbers. The U.S. demanded 100% sanctions relief for Iran in exchange for 100% surrender of nuclear rights. The gap is unbridgeable. CNN reveals the White House secret order. The U.S. delegation was told to walk away. No compromise, no negotiation. Think about this. Why would the U.S. set impossible terms to blame Iran for the breakdown? To win global public opinion. To justify military moves in the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz is the core bait. It carries 31% of global seaborne oil. 21.7 million barrels pass through it daily. The U.S. wants full control of this waterway. Iran will never give up this lifeline. This is the real deadlock. Not nuclear weapons, not sanctions, but the control of global energy. Do you get this hidden truth now? Layer 2, the brutal asymmetric cost war. This is the deadliest game no one talks about. The U.S. spends $400 million on defense. Iran spends $25 million annually. The budget gap is 35 times. But Iran wins the cost war. Let me show you the cold data. One Iranian suicide drone costs 30,000 USD. One USM-6 interceptor costs 4 million USD. One drone consumes 133 times the U.S. cost. Iran has 30,000 suicide drones in stock. It makes 200 new drones every day. The U.S. has 12,000 interceptors in the Middle East. Full stock runs out in 60 days. The math is simple. The U.S. cannot afford this war. Now look at the military scale gap. Iran has 1.648 million square kilometers of land, 85.62 million population, 43% mountain coverage, 37 underground missile bunkers, 210 meters deep, anti-bunker strike proof. The U.S. has 0 land depth in the Middle East. All 21 U.S. bases are within Iran's missile range. 40,000 U.S. troops are sitting targets. Iran has 14,000 ballistic missiles, full coverage of all U.S. bases. The U.S. has 100 fighter jets in the region, F-35, F-22, F-15 squadrons, but they rely on 8 fixed airfields. Iran can take out all airfields in one strike. The CDU distillation unit is Iran's economic weapon. Each unit processes 197,000 barrels of oil daily. It powers 18% of Iran's southern fuel supply. Damage it, no full war. Cut supply, global oil spikes. This is Iran's low-risk, high-reward move. The U.S. cannot counter this. The Ganatove 110 kV switching station links 6 main substations. It powers 42% of Iran's military industry. A 7.5-second defense delay wins air battles. These are not random targets. They are precision strategic leverage. Conventional strength means nothing here. Cost efficiency decides the war. Who bleeds less? Who lasts longer? Time stands with Iran, not the U.S. Can you see this cruel asymmetry? Layer 3, the fatal flaw of US military deployment. The U.S. shows off its dual carrier groups, USS Gerald R. Ford, USS Abraham Lincoln. 16 warships, 5,700 troops, each 100 stealth fighters in the region. It looks like an invincible force, but the LSE report exposes the truth. This is the most vulnerable U.S. deployment in decades. Let me break down the fatal weaknesses. First, overconcentration. All U.S. forces gather in the Persian Gulf. A narrow waterway, 39 kilometers at the narrowest point. Iran's Noor anti-ship missiles cover the whole area. 100 missile boats can swarm strike in 10 minutes. The carriers have no escape space. Second, supply chain collapse. The U.S. relies on 5 logistics bases. All are within 300 kilometers of Iran. One missile strike cuts all supplies. The U.S. has 32 days of ammo stock left. High-intensity combat drains it fast. Third, political suicide for war. The U.S. national debt hits 35.8 trillion USD. A full war costs 920 million USD daily, 330 billion USD a year. The U.S. economy cannot bear this. The Pentagon's own war game shows a war with Iran triggers 160 USD oil per barrel. European industry shuts down completely. Global economy crashes hard. The U.S. will lose its global hegemony. Fourth, no ally support. Saudi Arabia and the UAE condemn U.S. escalation. Turkey closes airspace to US warplanes. Egypt refuses military access. The Arab world stands united against the U.S. Israel stays silent. No military backup. The U.S. fights alone. No allies, no funds, no safe space. This is not a strong deployment. This is a death trap. The U.S. acts tough, but it dares not fire the first shot. Iran knows this. The whole world knows this. Do you see through this military bluff? Layer 4, great power chess and the final winner. This is not a U.S.-Iran conflict. It is a global game of China, U.S., and Russia. Every move serves great power interests. Let me reveal the hidden layout. First, Russia's perfect win. Russia stays fully neutral. It sends more air defense systems to Iran. It shares drone technology secretly. Middle East chaos distracts the West. Russia's Ukraine pressure drops by 60%. Higher oil prices double Russia's energy income. Russia loses nothing. It gains everything. This is a zero-risk victory. Second, the U.S.'s total trap. The U.S. faces 3-front pressure. Europe restrains Russia. Asia-Pacific contains the East. Middle East burns its strength. Its national power is overdrawn completely. The petrodollar system shakes badly. Global hegemony fades fast. The U.S. is the biggest loser. No way out. Third, China's top strategic wisdom. China stays neutral and pushes peace. No incitement, no weapons, no sides. It is the only fair mediator in the Middle East. The LSE confirms this fact. All Middle Eastern nations look east. They seek China's diplomatic support. They seek China's economic cooperation. Peace brings long-term benefits. Chaos only brings short-term gains. Time stands with peace. Time stands with the East. Now the hidden victim is clear. It is not Iran. It is not the U.S. It is Europe. Europe relies on 47% Middle East gas, 52% Middle East oil imports. War spikes European prices. European industry collapses. European people suffer. Europe becomes the cannon fodder of great power games. This is the cruel geopolitical truth. Small nations bleed. Great powers profit. Middle East fire reshapes the world order. Dollar hegemony enters its final countdown. Do you grasp this global layout now? Let us recap the whole truth in 3 sentences. The talk collapse is a planned U.S. excuse. The military threat is a helpless us bluff. The Middle East chaos is a great power reshuffle. There is no justice in geopolitics, only strength and interests. There is no winner in a full war, only survivors and victims. Iran holds the energy trump card. It will never surrender. The U.S. holds the military advantage. It cannot afford to fight. The war looms, but it will never break out because great powers stop it, because interests stop it. This is the unshakable reality. Remember 2 golden lines that cut to the core. Diplomacy fails when power demands surrender. Peace lasts only when strength balances strength. The Middle East storm is just the start. The global power shift has just begun. If this video shows you the hidden truth, hit the like button, share it with more people. Subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. In my next episode, I will break down the undercurrents of the Asia-Pacific. I will show you the ultimate cards of great power games. Stay tuned. See you next time.